welcome back to my channel and welcome to this bookshelf reorganization video. I am so excited about this video because not only am I going to reorganize my entire bookshelf, I'm also going to be adding a few new books to it. So let's get on with it and let's talk about the two new books that I'm going to be adding to my collection. Because, very exciting, this video is in collaboration with the amazing Book of the Month. Of course, the very well-known blue box that is always such a fun surprise to get in the mail. But if you don't know Book of the Month, they are a US-based subscription service for readers who really want to make sure that your reading experience just becomes a lot more enjoyable. How it works is that team goes through dozens of new releases every single month. They pick their favorites and then you can just choose whichever new book you want to receive that month. All books are amazing, beautiful hardcovers. They always try to focus on new and upcoming authors, but sometimes they do try to put one or two well-known authors in their selection as well. The two books that I chose for this month, one of them, the moment I saw it, I was just like, oh my goodness, I need this book in my life. And that one is The Lying Women of Tehran, written by Marjan Kamali. The reason I wanted this book is because I read her other book, The Stationery Shop, and absolutely loved it. So when I saw that this is one of the selections for June, I was just like, yes, I need this book. It says, from the nationally best-selling author of The Stationery Shop, a heartfelt epic new novel, friendship, betrayal and redemption set against 3 transformative decades in Tehran, Iran. So I am so excited to read this book. This is a historical fiction. And the next book that I chose is a contemporary because I'm trying to read a bit more contemporary books, and this one is called Margot's Got Money Troubles. And reading like the synopsis, it just sounds really funny and like a quick read. It says a bold, laugh out loud, funny and heartwarming story about one young woman's attempt to navigate adulthood, new motherhood and her meager bank account in an increasingly online world. This one is written by Rufi Thorpe. If you also want to get yourself one of these books or one of the other selections for this month, you can even choose from previous months. There are just so many books to choose from. You should definitely click the link in my description and use the code BREEZE to get your first hardcover new release for only $9.99. Book of the Month also always offers free shipping. They've now got a loyalty rewards program. They've got a really fun app where you can track all the reading, find out about fun reading challenges, and of course look at all the new releases and the new selections for that month. So all the information can be found in my description. Thank you so much for working with me on this video, Book of the Month. It truly means so much. But now it is time to start the redecorating process and yeah, just make it look a bit more fresh, a bit more nice and tidy, and I'm excited, so let's go. This is what my bookshelf looks like right now. It definitely looks quite tidy, but I'm just seeing lots of things where I'm not really happy with. And most of all, it's just these like little trinkets that I honestly don't think I want anymore. Lots of things over there as well. So we're just going to give it a nice clear out, see if I want to unhaul some books and clean it up a bit. Let me just quickly give you an overview of what it looks like right now. So the uppermost shelves are fantasy and science fiction. That we've got literary fiction and some magical realism, some dark academia as well, some classics, or all classics actually. This is my non-fiction shelf, which I still really like. Then I've got some more like literary fiction and some historical fiction. And down here I've got some young adult and middle grade books. And down here as well, and some Dutch books as well as some graphic novels. So that is it. Time for step 1, which is unhauling books. I always like to go through my bookshelf first to see if there are some books that I don't really want anymore, that I'm not interested in reading, and that can just go. So that those books will be off my shelf before starting the reorganizing of my bookshelf. So let's go over there and let's pick out some books that I want to unhaul. I do think that there are not going to be that many books that I want to unhaul because I believe I recently kind of went through my bookshelf again, but I do already see one that I'm not really interested in having on my shelf. It is called All My Friends Are Superheroes by Andrew Kaufman. I read this one years ago and I don't really remember much from it. I don't really feel much for it anymore, so number 1. The next one is The Boy in His Striped Pajamas. Also read this one years ago, and I think there are much better books about the Second World War. So this one is also going to go. I actually found a stack of books that I already kind of unhauled. I put them on my Vinted page, but I don't think I've ever told you about them. So the first one is Ian Pear's Arcadia, which I honestly just couldn't finish and I really was not into it. Then we've got Rainer Maria Rilke's Some Selected Poems. I much prefer his Letters to a Young Poet, so these poems were not my favourite. Then I've got The Island of Dr. Moreau. Honestly can't remember much about this book, and even though it's a really nice Penguin English Library edition, I still don't really want this book anymore. Then we've got Luster by Raven Leilani. Was quite interesting, but I have many of these like female unhinged female character books, and this one, yeah, was not amazing. And the last one is Vile Stars by Sara Milano, which is a young adult book that I read a few years ago, really enjoyed, but I just know that I won't like reread it. So if you are interested in any of these books that I mentioned, they will be on my Vinted page. Found another one, The Complete Poetry of Edgar Allan Poe. I am just not really a poetry person at all, and I read this once, quite dark, but yeah, I'm just not a poetry person. I don't really care for having them on my shelf, so another one that I'm unhauling. Found another one called My Naam is Selma. This is a memoir about a Dutch woman during the Second World War. I lent this from my mum years ago and I still haven't read it, so I probably will never pick it up. So this is going back to my mother. And that was the unhaul part. Time for phase 2, which is going through all of my little trinkets on my shelf to see if there are some things that I don't really want there anymore, that I don't really feel anything for, and that just makes it look a bit cluttered. And I already know a few things. I just fucking bumped my toe into this chair. Okay, first of all, this book light that I have had for years, never ever turn on, only used it for an Instagram photo once, and honestly it doesn't look like a nice old book or something. It just looks like a weird piece of wood, and yeah, bye bye. Also, these little things, I remember getting this really small bottle, would it focus, of Hendrick's gin and then making it look like there's like candle wax on there. Have had this for years, but it's gonna go. And also it is kind of statue-ish head. Yeah, it's just on here, but it doesn't really have a purpose. I do have like lots of little crystals around on my bookshelf, which I quite like because I often get a little crystal from every place that I visit on holiday or just a place anywhere in the Netherlands. I got this one from a really cool like natural history museum-ish in the Netherlands. So I'll keep this on here, but I will just put it right there for now so I can put it back on my shelf when I'm like decorating it again. And let me see if there is something else. Also just this. Okay, this is maybe a fun thing to keep. It's just the tiniest book on my shelf. It is a Dutch English dictionary, and there is actually like, there are words in here. This is over 600 pages, which is crazy. So yeah, I will keep this. This is a really fun little trinket. But I will put it away for now so I can like redecorate it again. This is a nice little box that I will definitely keep. I got this from my great grandmother after she passed away, and in here is a little lucky doll that I got from my teacher when I left middle school at the age of 12. So I've had this for a very long time, and it's a little lucky doll, and I will never get rid of it because she was one of my favorite teachers. So I will keep all of these. Definitely also keep these. These are dried roses, and these are from when my grandfather passed away, one of the bouquets that was like on his grave or at his funeral. And these are nearly 10 years old, still dried, still smell of like old flowers, which is really cool. We'll definitely keep those, obviously. Same as with this little thing, even though it is quite ugly, but it was from my grandmother, so we'll definitely keep it. It's still really cute. This thing, however, is going to go. It is a little 5-minute hourglass that I don't really use. I have a really pretty 30-minute hourglass, this one that I got for my birthday a few years ago, and this is something I used to do reading sprints with. This, however, I never use, so this is also going to go. I've also got like all of these postcards that I don't really know what to do with. I think I might have to just put these in my scrapbook, because these are all from memories of places I've been. For example, the Plaza Hotel in New York, or Como Lake, or the Empire State Building in New York, and this was from a really nice photo museum. So I will keep those, but just not on my shelf. I will probably put those in a scrapbook. And lastly, there is this thing that is like super cute. It's one of these hangers, but maybe I should hang it somewhere else. I will keep this because it just looks really pretty, but I don't know. I don't think it really fits on my bookshelf, so I will just hang this somewhere else. But it is very cute, and if I hang it in a window, it might reflect the light, which would be nice. And lastly, I've got like all these old photo cameras. I've got another one here, and then I've got this one. These all belonged to my grandfather, my dad, and they were all just in storage, and I thought these were really cool, but I don't really know what they're doing on my shelf. I think I might just keep these in storage again, and if I ever want to use them, because they're actual cameras, so they will probably still work, maybe? So I'm also just going to take them off for now and then see, maybe I want to add one or two on my bookshelf. Some other trinkets on here is this really big mug full of bookmarks, so I will probably go through these to see if there are some bookmarks that I don't really need anymore, because there are just so many bookmarks and I honestly don't need this many. So I'm just going to take off all the trinkets off my shelf that I will still keep, and then it's time to do some reorganizing. These fake candles that are still quite fun, because you can't really put on like real candles on your bookshelf. Little Prosecco bottle with some dried flowers in there, which I quite like actually. And another candle. That was a very long phase too, but now it is finally time to do a little bit of redecorating and reorganizing, because even though I think I will keep most of the shelves the same genre, I just want to move some books around because I feel like changing it up a little bit. Even though I still, as I said, really like the genres, I'm just gonna move it around a bit. By the way, I just realized, I think there is another book I want to unhaul. This book by Simone de Beauvoir. I remembered I have a few books by Simone de Beauvoir, two of her fiction books, this one and this one. The Woman Destroyed I really enjoyed, will definitely keep this. The Inseparables wasn't really my favorite, so I will get rid of this. But the thing is, I have got a fiction and a non-fiction book by Simone de Beauvoir. I've got The Second Sex. Do I put these together because they're the same author, or do I keep them on different shelves because they're different genres? Maybe just keep them on different shelves because they're different genres, but even though I do like having the same books by the same authors on the same shelves, you know, but oh well, something to think about. Let me know in the comments what you would do. I think for now I'm just going to keep them on their genre shelves, but this one is also going to go. Okay, it is time to do some reorganizing. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down to the bottom of my shelf. Enjoy this little time lapse and I'll be back with you with some finished results. Okay, I've done 3 shelves. Now it's time for my classics shelf, and I'm switching up a bit. I've taken some books from lower shelves, put them up here, so things are happening, things are changing, and I'm very excited. Okay, let's go over to my classics. Take this off for now, otherwise I will maybe pull it off again like I did with a bookshelf tour a few years ago. That was not fun, but he survived. It was at this moment that she knew she f***ed up. Okay, we've just got like 3 more shelves to go, but now that I'm thinking about this. I kind of want to put some of these books up here as well, so I'm going to see if that fits. I hope so. Okay, now I remember why they were down there, because they're like historical fiction, and I do have more historical fiction down there, but I don't know, I just want to switch it up a bit. So maybe the genres are not going to be perfect, but that's okay, because I like it more this way. I am nearly done. This feels amazing, but I just thought of it. Let's see if my plants need some water, because, oh yeah, this is very dry. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna water all of my plants, because otherwise they will not be happy for the upcoming days. I've put my chair back, but some parts just feel so empty. But of course, if I put back my plants, it will look more fun, and I will still, you know, use these little crystals and the fake candles and stuff. But okay, it still looks a bit bare, but let's decorate it with my plants. Time for phase 4, I think. For the decorating? Yes. Okay, I think it is finished. I'm very happy with the results, and of course I will give you a brief new bookshelf haul as well. I got rid of quite a few books, got rid of quite a few trinkets, and I think it looks very sleek right now, and I'm loving it. So let's go over to my bookshelf for an after shot of what it looks like. Let's start at the top 2 shelves again. I've switched up some things, so I have all of my fantasy right over here, and oops, I should not point, otherwise the camera will stop focusing. And then my science fiction over here, more science fiction and some more fantasy, because I don't have that much science fiction. So yeah, basically just all science fiction, fantasy, dystopian, all of that good stuff. Then we have got magical realism, magical books, like witchy books. Then it goes on to like dark academia and quite just tough books to read, emotional books to read. Behind here are some more emotional books. Then we've got some literary fiction, some kind of unhinged female character books, more literary fiction, and some historical fiction. But I just wanted to have my Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones books like over here, so we'll just keep that here. Then we've got my entire classic shelf, and the way that I have organized this is that I put all of my Oscar Wilde books right here in the middle, and then I did male authors and female authors, and I think it is really fun that it's divided like this. It also is quite even, which is funny. So normally I always put all of these like blue books together, but I thought I would just mix it up a little bit so it isn't just one block of blue penguin classics or modern classics. So here are all the female authors, then we've got Oscar Wilde books, and we have got male authors. Also love that this one is very prettily on display. I have yet to read Les Miserables. As you can see, I started it. This was in 2016. I got until here, but next time I'm actually going to read it, I will read this edition because it's so pretty. Then down here, this is my non-fiction shelf, which is a little bit messy, but oh well. We have got some historical books, some books about like social issues. These are all science books. Then we have got some memoirs, some more memoirs basically. Yeah, and lots of memoirs, just things about people and about life. So this is not organized in a really perfect way, but that's okay. And then down here we have got more just fiction books, some thrillers, some romance, some like adventure, a few Dutch books as well, historical fiction, some kind of Greek mythology-ish books, and some more historical fiction. And then we have got Dutch books, all of my Dutch books, children's books, and just some Dutch classics, and then a few young adult books, contemporary books. And down here we have got some nice picture books, middle grade books, middle grade, and some graphic novels, small graphic novels. And lastly, just a few like random books here and there, a few poetry books, and some like non-fiction books, the history, like photographic history, and the world, around the world in 80 plants. And right here I've just got this little remote for my candles and all of my coasters that I designed. And I have put one camera back here because I still think it looks really nice. And up here I have got some more trinkets that just mean a lot to me, and a fake candle that doesn't really mean a lot to me, but it just looks cute. I've put the bookmarks back there. I still have to like organize them, but at least they're not like super in view. And then of course my plants, the little Prosecco bottle, and another fake candle kind of nicely well hidden behind the plant, and this cute little trinket that also belonged to my great-grandmother that I don't want to get rid of. So this is the final bookshelf. I am so happy with it. Okay, I actually filmed the beginning of this video whilst my bookshelf was already redecorated, so we do have to put the new 2 Book of the Month books on my shelf. Let's go, because this one is historical fiction, so it needs to go on the historical fiction shelf, which is down here. It is easily going to fit. And the contemporary is also going on one of the shelves down there, so let's go. Let me see. This one... Oh, I dropped my little book. Tiny one. Let's see, this one can go right... I want it right here. And then the contemporary can go here. Ooh, it fits perfectly. Nice. Yay! Oh, and my small book that needs to go... I don't know, shall I just put it? So this was it. This was my entire bookshelf reorganization. I really hope that you liked this video. Please do give it a thumbs up if you did. And if you want to comment something, but you don't know what to comment, comment any type of book emoji. There are so many book emojis. So a stack of books, single book, an open book, whatever you want, because this was all about books. Thank you again so much for watching. I really hope that you are having a gorgeous day, and I will hopefully see you in my next video.